has with no problems at all, right, guys? To grid, you're going to, so I was just describing, this is an 8.5 by 11-inch photograph. I have actually made my painting is going to be half that size, exactly half the size. That is also in centimeters, that's 21.5 centimeters by 28 centimeters. So if you can either block off, or you can use a 9 by 12-inch sheet of paper, and that'll generally work.
So it'll grid the same way? Okay.
It's pretty close. I'm not gonna pick it too much. So what you want to do, whatever size you're working, is you want to find the halfway point of each edge, like this. So you can see I'm marking them down. I'm going to the top here. And then once I find the two halfway points on either edge of the paper, I can line the ruler up and draw that down. So you can do the same thing over here with your pencil. Oh my God, you guys, you're awesome. You know that? You put up with a lot. Okay, let's see. 4.5 2.25. So over here, I'm also measuring the halfway point. It's a smaller halfway point, but it's still the halfway point. And more importantly, it's a proportional halfway point. So this is exactly proportional. If this was a different size, if I decided to take up the whole paper, this gridding would not work. But because it isn't, I'm going to do this on the long side as well. Oh, geez, that's right. This has a different ruler. Okay. I'm going to use centimeters on this side because it's easier for me to read the ruler. 28, 14. All right, I'll take that. And then I'm going to do the same thing over here. Next week, abstract painting starts on Tuesday nights. Tuesday afternoons for us, 3:30 our time.
3:30.
Yeah. Yeah, it's Eastern time. And then I'm debating if I need any more. I think we do. All right. So then you're going to divide each half in half. We'll do the same thing at the top here. Hard for me to read. There we go. Okay. So I find the halfway point of each half. Everything is still equally divided. I'm going to do the same on the other side. I feel like it's hard to see this particular lighter. Let's try the pink. there we go. Yeah. And then we're going to find the halfway point on each side.
Oh, I did that already. Okay.
There we go. And I'll finish drawing this. I'll send you guys a picture on the WhatsApp thread so you can really see it as soon as I finish drawing it in. Now the challenge is not to get this pastel onto my watercolor at all. We'll see how that goes.
So how are your pieces to the exhibit coming along?
The 8 of them are lying on the floor. I just varnished them. And Hermes has been banished from the studio until they dry in like 8 hours. So it's all, everything's all done. I just got it all photographed. Now I have to varnish 16 pieces and then once they dry, I have to paint the edges. I have to make sure everything is wired. And then I hang them on Tuesday.
Ah,
Yes, it's exciting. I'm really excited. So actually next week I won't, I'm gonna have to talk about Thursday because Thursday is going to be a short class. Anyways, it's going really well, but it's so much physical work, like lugging thing. There's so much lugging around that happens in art. It's like, I was just thinking, oh my God, if anybody had told me how much lugging around I'd be doing. I mean, I was sweating and like, it was really hot work, and you're worried, you don't want to wreck anything, you want to be careful not to, break anything. And I brought all my paintings over to the photographer, and on the way over, I scraped one of the paintings with a little bit of the paint off the edge. So I had to go back and touch it up. I was like, oh my God. Kill me now. No, I don't really think that, but I was like, this is crazy. Okay, so this is. But that's the work.
you signed up for it.
You signed up for it, right? I can't really complain. Okay, so here's one thing. Let me take a picture of this actually, so you guys can, before we start getting into the drawing of this. It's kind of nice just having the 3 of you. Aww. It's cozy.
Cozy.
Right? It's cozy.
Yeah, I almost missed it because I was in the garden planting. So I
That's
didn't
exciting.
look at the watch.
How's the window? Is it in?
The window is in. Now
Yeah.
it's just, but we put in a much smaller windows because there was windows from floor to ceiling.
It
Before.
was. Oh,
Yeah. Which is not so, and it was single glazing, and that's not so cool when you live in this climate where it
Right.
gets really hot.
right.
So, so
So,
now we have a normal window in there when it is so nice. But we have stucco on the wall, so we still have to do the stucco. We had the mortar put in on the walls last weekend, and this weekend we'll get the stucco hopefully on the moldings.
wow, that's awesome.
And I have to
Exciting.
paint and finish spackling on the inside so we can finish the walls there.
Oh my God, it sounds like so much work, Diana.
It is, but
It's worth
I've
it.
I've done this whole house room by room, window by window,
Right.
and I do the painting and the spackling myself. So, but it's a lot of work when you
Thank you,
upgrading
Dad.
all stuff.
I always
Yeah.
think that when you say that, I imagine little Diana learning to drink vodka and and learning how to lay bricks. I can totally see it.
That was my upbringing.
I love it. It's a fantastic. I mean, you obviously survived, and you survived with skills.
Yeah.
Lots of skills.
Yeah, when you are a kid, and I guess I was like 5-6 years when I started hanging around on the building sites, and all the how all the moms wake up when kids
Right.
are brought to the lunch meetings, and it was the same thing at the building sites. All the dads felt they had to teach me things. So
Right. So you've just got a lot of skills. It's great. It's really great. So one of the things I wanted to show you guys as we are dealing with, as you're starting to draw buildings, is to notice that the top of the building and the bottom of the building, really it's interesting because this is almost straight anyway, whatever. The perspective, the general rules of perspective don't work, but what does work is that you can see here's the top of a building and here's the bottom of a building. So notice there's the top, right? So the top goes down and the bottom goes up. And these vertical lines are straight up and down. Let's see if this will work. Yep, nope, it's not going to go to the same point. It's the same with the top of the windows and the bottom of the windows. Yep. In this case, if you can see, these lines go at this line goes at a diagonal, this line goes straight. So I think the lesson to take from this, as you're starting to go through it, now you can add as much detail or as little detail as you like. But the lesson to take from this, and this ridiculous thing kind of curves in, and damn European cities. So you can definitely get this shape in here, the shape of the sky, right, hitting the road. So that one is a good first one to add in. But know that as you're adding buildings in, the bottoms and the tops of things are often going in the opposite direction. I think that's just the easiest way to say that. So let's start by sketching in these pieces. Here, hold on. Using our grid. And I'm going to find out the answer to why this does not follow perspective rules, but I really have a feeling it has to do with the camera. I think the camera is changing things for us in a way. Huh?
I think it's to do with the lens. There are all sorts of lenses you can use on there.
Right, and the lens is not like the human eye.
Yeah.
So, right? So, okay, so the first thing I know is that I can kind of come up here just above this edge and do a straight line across. And then I can go up to here. Is that right? Yep, up to here.
You know, the Copenhagen picture I did, well, the picture was taken with kind of a fisheye lens. So I
Yeah,
had
you could tell. You could tell.
Yeah, you had perspective in, but that's what I liked about the picture.
Right. Right. Exactly.
That the perspectives went into the directions.
Right. It's not a human eye.
No, not
That
at
one
all.
again.
Not
Oops,
at
I
all.
went too far. I went too far out and over. Hold on. Another. Nope, nope. I got a little bit left here. Notice how quick and easy it is to kind of move, to go too big. In truth, this building, and then there's like that thing happening. This kind of comes through the halfway point of here. And I had it over here because I was kind of following the line here and going in. Just notice how easy it is. Okay. Right. So you also went too big on this side too. So it's like this. And then it kind of goes like this. And this. And that. And that is. This is going to be a simplified cityscape, all right. So we're not going to use the basic rules of perspective because they don't apply, but the grid's going to help us make this kind of funky. So these are the first lines you're going for, you guys, I would say. And I'm working small, so this is not going to be, and I can see that this line kind of starts down here, angles up through here like that. And this line comes more through the center. It's a little bit wider. This is the blue lines here that I drew. So I really use my grid to figure out kind of where everything is. Here.
So Rollo, have you been working a lot? That's why we haven't seen you?
Yeah, well, I was doing a lot of things, and then I had a week that I took off, and then there were several times where I had to work late, and then last week I was working late on Tuesday and then had to get up early on Wednesday, and I just felt absolutely exhausted.
Right, I can totally imagine.
So it's just working hours, really.
Yeah.
So it's annoying.
It is. It's totally cramping our style.
I know.
We have to pay for our expensive lifestyle, right?
That's right. But it is good to be here just to play.
Yeah, it is.
With art, with the artistic process and art. So guys, let me see when your drawing is up to this point. Show it to me.
Getting there.
Mine is, my street comes out a little bit further on either side. These lines are the white lines in the actual street. Here, I'll take a picture of all these paintings lying in the dark, totally wet with varnish. Hopefully nothing will happen to them. Oh, yeah, they're in good shape. There's a bunch of them. Just laying there. They have to lay flat, you know, so they won't drip. There won't be
Yeah.
drips in the varnish, and it takes about a day. I have one painting that I took in, and the photographer was like, there are little kitty paw prints all over this. So somehow Hermes got his little paws on it and mucked it up everywhere.
Aw,
Little turkey.
that is a little turkey.
He is a little turkey. It's on a black, like, so it's dusty paw prints. You know, you can't see them except in certain light. I'm like, what? Has he walked all over the thing? It's been, I don't even know how he's done it. It's crazy. There we go. When you guys are at this point, send it to me,
Okay.
and then I will, and we'll go on. And the original, just to remind you, the original colors are here. Let's see. Yeah, that looks pretty good, Pat. Looks good to me.
Well, those are colorful.
Yeah,
Those are
that's
beautiful.
the color that's the color version. So we'll use that as we start to mix our colors. Rollo, how you doing?
No, I was talking about your
I'll
work.
second hold on.
Oh, thank you. Yes, they are really colorful.
Wait, are the, now that I'm looking at this again, it doesn't seem to correlate with my grid, but these are too far apart, aren't they? The lines that
Maybe.
go down from.
Perhaps a little bit. Yep.
Yeah.
So go ahead and you can adjust that. It's easy to make things kind of too far apart, right? So
Yeah. Well, I kind of went from the bottom, and it seems like from the bottom, it's very close to the edge,
right.
but it's not.
I have the opposite problem with my reindeer. I'm doing things too close.
Two things. It's easy to go sort of horn in too big or too small, to do things too big or too small. Usually we do things too big, right? We get in too close and get too detailed, too small, too quickly. But it can happen. Let me know when you guys are ready, and we'll go on to the next phase.
Sending mine now. So I've got quite far with it already.
Let's see.
I'm doing it all by measurement though.
Okay. That's what I want.
I don't know if it's very clear though.
One of the, let's see.
I don't know if you can see it clearly.
Yeah, it's not too bad. So let's see here. The biggest issue. So Rollo, the biggest issue to remember, it looks pretty good. So far, these are great. But these are not straight. So the biggest issue to remember here is that because of perspective, let me show you. No line, none of these lines are parallel, right? Everything is a different angle. This line is not parallel to this line is not parallel. That means they aren't running at the same angle. So just make sure they should all actually go to a single point. So all these lines should go here. Hold on.
They should do.
They should do, but they are not because this is a no. Well, most of them are. I mean, on a single building, they are. So this one is. So these three are. They all go to the same point, and so does the bottom, and so does the top. Right? They all go to the same vanishing point. So just remember, that means that this angle, you can kind of keep your ruler here and then just move it down to get the next angle, and then down to get the next angle. You don't really have to move it from the vanishing point too much.
It's funny, that line that you pointed out was the one that I actually made up.
Yeah, I could tell. You notice that's the first one I went to, right? Like, so what I'm saying is, just know, so as you're sketching this in, so if I'm sketching in this building, right, I know the top starts here and it goes to about here, and then it comes straight down to here. But then I know the bottom line starts here. Yeah, that seems about right. This line goes straight down, but I know that this line also, if I were to draw this line all the way to its natural conclusion, the second line, this middle line, would go to that same spot. And even if it doesn't quite do that on the photograph, you want to do that on your drawing. So let's see, that would be. Oops, not right. Let's start here. Go to there. Because in reality, if we were looking at this with the human eye, that's how it would look. And it's the same here. At least with each building, you want to kind of get that right. Now I'm gonna like simplify this. Because I'm doing a smaller sketch than you guys are. Yeah, and then the bottom of my windows kind of goes straight across. And then all my doorways and windows are straight down lines. So I'm going to let you decide how much detail you want to put in here. You can put as little or as much detail as you want to. And it's the same on this side, right? So Pat, I just say you have plenty of leeway. Oh wait, I brought this.
Plenty of leeway for what?
So you do as little or as much detail as you want to.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I
I'm gonna
would
get the
just say-
basic shape of the buildings in there.
Yeah, just kind of work. Let's work on getting the basic shapes. This is a warped. This is kind of a warped street scene. Like this line, which is the curb line, kind of almost like swoops out in this weird way that I know doesn't really happen, but it's happening here. Still, it's kind of neat looking, so might as well go with it.
No, that's right.
It's the same here. Like you can kind of get as much detail as you'd like. Maybe one or two windows. I kind of like this roof. Boy, watercolor really does make me so free and easy. I'm just like, whatever, you guys just put whatever you want into this drawing. You can put as much detail or as little detail as you want. If you see a very obvious white area, preserve it. Meaning draw the shape out, you're gonna save that and not paint it. Yeah, just have fun with this one. Otherwise, it'll make you crazy.
Oy, oy, oy.
You know, Diana, my dad was like a fix-it guy, and he tried to get me interested
Yeah,
in fixing things, and I never did it. And now I totally wish I had those skills. I feel like I'm rushing to try and catch up the skills.
you know, you can catch up. If you can read, you can learn almost
Yeah.
anything.
Right. That's true. But I wished I had had that, because there's something about kind of the tool knowledge, isn't there? Just like being comfortable using tools.
Yeah,
I wish I had it, more of it.
but if you don't have it, you don't have to do it yourself.
That's true.
That's also an advantage.
Good point. You can leave it for people who actually have time for it.
Unless you're in the middle of the country and get a flat tire.
Right.
Yeah, that's no fun. That has happened to me. And my jack didn't work.
Oh,
Oh, what'd you do?
It was in the middle of the night in Joshua Tree,
Oh,
and we were two women. I was there doing feature stories together with a female photographer. And I had a convertible at the time, and she had 2 or 3 Hasselblad cameras with her.
wow.
So we couldn't leave the car, and we were kind of close to a house where the owner came out with a shotgun and said, "Get out of my,"
oh my God.
and we couldn't go, and the jack I had in my car turned out to be broken. So we were standing there, and then we were lucky. A family of 4 passed by and saw that we were in kind of distress. So they had a jack, and they helped us put on the spare, and off we went to a city where we waited for the deck place to the tire
Open?
place to open.
Oh my God. So you were
Well, that
up
was
all night,
nice.
basically.
Yeah.
So your training on the night shift as a journalist back in the day helped, right?
Well, I don't know. I mean, it was pretty stressful, especially with that idiot with the shotgun.
God, that's such an American story. I feel there's always an idiot with a shotgun.
Yeah.
This is actually going to be kind of, you guys, this is going to be a cute little drawing. So this is as far as I'm going to go with it. You two are welcome to go further. Here, hold on. I'm going to send mine where I'm going to send where mine is. I'm also working smaller, so I don't need as much. But yeah, when you're ready to start painting, let me know and we'll start talking about colors. You're also welcome to kind of play with the colors, but I kind of like the colors of this one. I like some of the things that are happening here, so I thought I'd bring them out. And I wanted to point out the lights and the darks. So obviously we're going to leave this sky completely light. We're not going to paint it. We're going to leave much of this part of this building, if you put it in light. We're going to leave our strips light. Is there anything else we're going to leave light? I think that's it. I think everything else can be painted a little bit. So let me know when you guys are ready and we'll start. We're going to start with the grisaille painting.
Oh, you're into yogurt size.
I am into it. I'm into it. I love the way it looks.
It is. Yeah, it is really neat.
It is. I was thinking, I went through a whole phase in oil painting where I did nothing but grisailles, and as my bases. And I loved it. It's making me, it's been a while. It's been a couple of years since that's happened, but I was just thinking about how much I love it. Yeah. And I like what it does for the watercolor. I think it does a lot of work with the watercolor.
Well, I'm gonna send you. I've sketched up. I
Yeah,
know
let me see.
I know I have to correct a bunch of things, but I just threw paint on it.
Let's see.
Yeah, I'm sending it to you now, if I can find it. Didn't I take a picture? Oh, apparently not. Let me go back to my picture. No, I didn't. I didn't save the picture. How smart was that?
I'm telling you, it's one of those days.
Let's try this again then.
So Diana, do you like the new little email system that I'm going to do with you guys? Is that helpful?
Yeah.
So I can send you that pretty thing.
Yep. I mean, we'll put it into our own format, but we'll use
Like I thought it would be helpful. I can also send you the text and the photos so you can put it. You don't have to forward, but I thought it's just as easy to forward as anything else.
Yeah. Let's see, here comes my little guy.
Oh, that's coming along nicely. Let me remember.
It's not correct on the reindeer, but it's
on the perspective.
Yeah, it's close though.
Yeah, just make his front legs a little bit thicker. Because they're much thicker, then I think it reads pretty well.
They not spaced. The reason they are that thin is because I painted over part of them because they were in the wrong.
Got it. Yeah, so just now that you've got them in the right place, just look at the negative space that's between them on the picture. It's looking good actually, Diana, and I like the peachy part that's behind.
It actually is.
What did you get? How did you get
it?
That
It is
color?
actually peachy in the original.
Yeah, I remember that. How did you get that color peach? What is that made out of?
that is, what is it called? It is vermilion, vermilion red, white, and a little bit of yellow.
Which yellow, if you don't mind my asking?
It is lemon yellow.
So a kind of a cool yellow and a warmer
Yeah.
red.
Yeah.
Interesting. And then a touch of white. I mix that peach a lot, but I feel like it's hard to get the saturation that I want. I feel like the white always, limits it a little bit. The white always flattens it a little bit.
Yeah, white that has a tendency of doing that.
It's because it's cool, so it'll cool things down. How are you guys doing?
Yeah,
You know what? It wasn't the lemon yellow. It was I just do it by instinct. It was just warm yellow, cadmium yellow.
It was a cadmium yellow. Okay, that
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah, it was a cadmium yellow. Sorry.
Oh, you're doing the moose.
Yeah.
It's a
Have
reindeer.
you done that? Have you done
Yeah.
it? Yeah.
It's a
About 6
reindeer.
months ago, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a
The Sunday
reindeer.
class did it.
yeah. We did it in the Wednesday class too. All right. Are you guys ready to talk painting? We're ready to play with painting. Let's see.
I'm really not.
Oh, then
this is
Pat,
taking a
just
long
keep
time.
drawing. Just keep drawing. That's looking pretty
Okay.
good.
Okay.
And do as little detail as you want to, right? You don't have to put in all the details, just
Right.
the major ones that you notice. You can see I've got a couple windows here. I've got 1 or 2 windows here. I've got a few 1 or 2 windows here. Like I'm not, there's not really that much detail. That's nice. It's a pretty color. Let's see, Rollo. Oh yeah, Rollo, you got very ambitious. So Rollo, just remember
Just know, haven't I?
what? So just remember these straight lines are just verticals, straight down. No bends. They're
Oh, well.
bending a little bit. Other than that, I really like this. I think we're ready to paint. You ready to
It
paint?
looks really good, Rolo.
Yeah, I think it looks good.
They're not supposed to bend. It's just just because I'm being crappy at. Yeah.
Right, got it. Because you're a little tired and yeah.
It's harder to see yours, Pat, but it does look good too.
It does look great. It's
Yeah.
coming along. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're fun. Yeah, so we're just gonna do it. Okay, so if you have, here, hold on, if you've got Payne's Gray, do you have to have Payne's Gray on you?
I have very limited colors.
What do you got?
I have got like white, 2 reds, 2 blues, 2 greens, 2 yellows, a sort of ochre, 2
What is
ochres,
it?
and a black.
Okay, and these are your watercolors?
Yes.
Okay. So do you have a Viridian green?
I have to check. Hang on.
But you want, it's kind of a bluer green as opposed to a yellow green.
At your grandmother's paint?
No, that's in another box. I need to sort that out properly because it's all over the place. I can't remember where the box is now. It's here. I should check in here what she's got.
Yeah. So I'm trying to get it so we can see. There we go. I want you to be able to see the mixing. All right. If you've got Payne's Gray, you can just use that. But if you don't have Payne's Gray, we mix it with Viridian Green here and a touch of cool red, quinacridone red. So you'll notice right now it's looking a little bit on the pink side. So I add just a touch more green to it. Yeah, until it looks kind of grayish. And then I want to lighten it with water. So this color is Viridian Green plus quinacridone red, or maybe alizarin crimson, And what you get when you mix them together, as long as you don't use too much, you don't dominate too much, the red can be overwhelming. So you want to be careful on the red. You will get a gray. Here, I'll take a picture. Although the color looks pretty good today, doesn't it?
It does.
Please, but I'm going to take a picture of it anyway. So you basically want to mix a gray. Viridian green, cool red, so quinacridone red or permanent red or alizarin crimson. And then you want a green that looks like this, which is kind of almost electric blue. It's not a hunter's green or a sap green, which has too much yellow in it and will, it'll make your mix come out more brown than you want. So go ahead and mix that, either mix that color from red and green or look for Payne's gray, or yeah, Rollo, look and see if grandma's got some Payne's gray.
I know, I'll look. I'm just trying to do this with the red and the green.
Yeah, try to do a mix. And notice we're kind of testing, I'm just testing on the side of my paper. It's looking a little bit yellower. I wonder if I can change that. Looks kind of yellower. I've got new lights too, and I think that's helping. Yeah.
It looks much better.
Yeah. I think it's the new machine. I think, frankly, it's the new tablet. It's just a better camera. They get better all the time. All right. And then once you've got it, you can use the gray to very lightly painting in the darkest parts. Right, the darkest areas. Notice I'm not painting very dark yet. I'm still going kind of light, but I'm still going to the darkest areas. So over here, it's kind of darker. Up here, it's dark. Here, the windows are often kind of dark. But I'm not going super dark. I'm going kind of more like a medium dark. Let's see. And I'm working around the areas that are lighter. Here's kind of a fun fact about this assignment. You can usually tell if something is light because it's dark, because it's usually next to something light. So look at where the light areas are, and they should help you indicate kind of where the dark areas are. Darkest areas. So I'm avoiding the midtones right now. I'm just doing kind of darker areas. So this part of the street is dark, I say.
Just gonna have a quick cigarette before I start painting.
Yeah. I'll stop because I think this is a good place. Do it. I'm actually going to make myself a cup of tea. Your cigarette is my tea.
Okay.
Oh, by the way, Diana, I found this great photo on Unsplash of a dog sitting in front of a wall in an old city. And I totally thought it would be up your alley. So
Yeah.
it probably is up somebody's alley. So I'm going to send it over the thread. I'll probably do it. If I haven't done it, I'll send it over in the next, I'll send it to you. You see if it's something you'd want to do. It's a pretty neat composition.
Are you sending it on this thread?
This is complete.
Back.
This goes here.
Yes. All right, I see you're starting to work there. So we're kind of starting with a light grayscale. A lot the way we would paint other paintings, right? With oil or acrylic. But we're preserving our light areas. So we're not getting any paint into our lightest areas. I like the way that in this tray, like, you know, you sort of mix it and then the water kind of pushes it down. So you can kind of use it for a little while before you have to mix again. Let's see.
There's a funny swishing sound.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
No idea. It's not coming from here.
Strange.
It is.
Now it stopped.
Isn't it funny how we also notice every little thing that happens now? Like, it's funny how there's just these kind of subtle shifts in the environment, and you can, in your home environment, and you can totally feel them. Oh yeah, this is looking kind of fun and nice. It's very dark up here. So this dark, I want to kind of splash up. Yeah, something's so off. And then you might go even lighter and add in some of the midtones. Leave the sky totally white. We're going to leave the sky white. One of the things you learn with watercolor is how much white plays a role. In a way, it really doesn't in other mediums. Like it definitely. Don't worry also about mixing the same gray every time. It's okay. We don't need it to be the same. So now I'm kind of adding in the lighter colors. I'm preserving this building, the top of this building wall, which I think should stay white. I don't know what else I'll be preserving that. Yeah. Then you want to let that dry. Let me take a picture of that so you can see it. Still looking a little browner than it really is. So let me. I wonder if that's the yellow light I've got going. Now. Actually, that's a little better. I like that color better. I turned the yellow light off. I don't want it there. Maybe I want it here. Yeah, there we go. That's actually pretty accurate. I think this looks really neat at this stage. In some ways, I like, not really sure how much I want to mess with it. It's interesting, particularly because I'm doing this so small, how little detail you need to make a kind of dynamic composition, right? Like, this is not really that much detail, but it definitely gives you a feeling of scene. So part of what we're doing is learning how to simplify, which is kind of nice. And sometimes, like when you're looking at something like this, it's like, yeah, I'm like, yeah, not doing you, not doing you. Not like, there's all these things I'm not doing because it doesn't suit my composition. So I give you permission to do that too.
Yeah, I normally simplify when I did, but when I did my Copenhagen thing, I went overboard with details.
Yes, and then you got, yeah, right. But although you got yourself through it, you did good.
Yeah, because first I was just going to go do the building blocks and nothing else, like a Lego. So anyone going away over the weekend?
No,
Not me. Going up to Liz.
which is kind of like going away since she lives very
That's
far
true.
from me. What about you?
No.
Why? Yeah, right. Like why?
I have my window and my wall to paint.
Right. Diana, are you back in the office yet?
I went into the office yesterday. And I ended up just picking up what I needed and going back home.
Interesting.
What's the point in sitting alone in an office building, and then when you can be at home
At
with your
home
cat,
doing the same thing.
yeah, and be with your cat and your dog.
Hey, and Pat, by the way, don't rush through this, okay? So just
Don't
work
what?
on the drawing. Don't rush through this. I mean, I know you're not, but I want you not to feel like you have to rush.
Yeah, I don't feel like that.
Yep, great. I'm glad we're all in agreement on
Print
that.
out the picture and work on it all week. Because it's hard.
Diana,
Yeah.
I was going to ask you, I was thinking about applying for the SoCal Awards as well.
Yay.
One of the things I was wondering about is,
Yeah.
so there are several times where I have done really nice stories that have been used widely.
Yeah.
The problem I have is that because of the way Reuters works, I mean, like sometimes if you do a story on a Friday evening,
Yeah.
it doesn't get picked up for digital.
Right.
So you are left in a situation where you're just like, I've no outwardly facing, apart from the agency package, I don't have anything to sort of show for it apart from, I mean, I could download the agency package and put it on YouTube or something,
Yes, you can. A lot of people do that.
but it just wouldn't look
What are you doing?
very official.
What do you got hold of?
Are you talking to your dog, Pat?
Yeah, the damn dog picked up something else. It's going.
So,
Rollo, do
so
you like Reuters? Are you happy to be working there?
Who, me?
Yeah. Seems like you get to do a lot of fun stories.
I get to do a lot of stuff and it's just been kind of crazy.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to make sure that with showbiz coming back that we actually have the, it's amazing how easily people forget about you.
Right.
Especially if you haven't been, I mean, a lot of people have just been trying to do showbiz stories, but
Right.
they're doing them.
Right.
And we've been sort of like going, well, no one's using them at the moment, so not much point. So just trying to get back in the good books with people is my mission at the moment, but it's taking a lot of work.
I know you're up to the job, my friend. I know. You're the perfect man for the job.
Oh, I'm trying.
You're not short on charm, Rollo.
I know. I've been trying to sort out this. we had a meeting about doing strategy, about making sure that we're all on the same page.
Yeah.
And then as soon as you have that meeting and you just say, listen, you know, like we should all be, not have a million voices all just sort of talking to these publicists at the same time, asking for different things.
Right,
We should be going separately. And
right.
everyone's like, that's, I mean, we should be going together and showing that we're a united front, etc. I can't get people to do it.
Really?
Yeah, it's so hard.
Is everybody too competitive or just too unmotivated?
I just don't. I mean, we have these conversations, and I don't know why they don't like.
I think people are competitive. You
Yeah.
know, we've just started a journalist coalition in Los Angeles to get to police to treat us better.
Right.
And, you know, it's hard to get everyone to not try to take credit for their organization, or to get like, yeah, but we are special. We need a special meeting. And, you know, it like kills the
It kills
coalition.
yes, it kills the
Yeah.
sort of cooperative.
Yeah. But I mean, we're working it out, and I think it's going to work out. But there is always someone that has an ego that comes in the way.
Yep.
Yeah, well, everything seems to have got worse since we had the meeting. I mean, it's not got back, even though everyone said that they agreed. It seems to have got worse. Communication
It seems to have gotten worse. Yep.
has got worse. So I'm not quite sure what to do. I think I may have messed this up. I'm a bit rough around the edges with these brushes.
It's okay.
Sending.
You guys work at the same place?
No.
No, Diana is the executive director of the LA Press Club.
Whoa.
Pat, and Rollo is a member of the LA Press Club, but he works for Thomson Reuters, the news agency. They're
He
both
has
in
a
LA.
real job.
It's a real
Oh
job.
my God, your
Boss
job
people
is
around though.
absurd. Well, she doesn't get to boss anyone around except for herself. Diana, do this. Diana, do this. We are, I don't know if you know this, Diana, but right now, Portland Open Studios is applying for funds to get our first executive director, and I'm totally modeling it after you. Like, I envision somebody I want, although ours is going to be a part-time position. I think yours is full-time, right?
Yeah, but you know, when I started,
It was
when I
part-time.
started, there wasn't really a real position, and the press club did not have money, so they couldn't really pay me. So it was a part-time job. I built it to be a
Full-time.
profitable organization.
Right. Right.
So that, but you need to have someone to do that. You can't just expect volunteers putting in all that time.
We are fortunate and that we have our current president is going to be keep that under your hat, Pat. Oh yeah, Rollo. So excellent. So now we can start talking about adding color, right? And going a little bit darker in places. So we can return my suggestion. Hold on to that thought, Diana, because I want to come back to it, but I want to talk about painting for just a second here. I'm looking for the, where are you? There you are. No, I don't want a photo. I would like to see. I want to see the original photo. So when you're mixing, so there's this cool, like kind of turquoisey blue colors. If you've got that, you should totally add it. But if you don't, when you're mixing reds, mix a tiny touch, just a tiny touch. So this is cadmium red. It's a light red. It's kind of an orangey red. Mix a tiny little corner of green into it. Not too much, just a little bit, right? To make it a little bit grayer. And then as you start putting in the bricks, the bricky parts, right? Like here. You've
What
got
color-
something
What was
that's
that?
a little bit more shadowy, not so bright.
What colors was that again?
That is so it's a cadmium red or whatever orange red you have, kind of orangey red, and a touch of green,
Okay.
a tiny touch of green, but mostly red. So you want it to read as mostly red, but with a tiny touch of green, just to knock it back just a tiny little bit. And here, right, you can do that. Let's see. I'm going to put that here. I'm going to put that in this far building here. I'm not putting it everywhere because I can
Dark green or a light green?
the same, I'm using the same green that I used to mix my gray. Right? So it's got more of a, and as I'm looking at this street and I'm looking at the real colors, to me, I see it's a little bit more purpley. It looks more purple to me. So let me try something. I'm mixing kind of a purple with blue and red. And then I'm adding in a touch of yellow. So almost all of these colors, I'm adding in the complement. Just a little bit of the complement, not too much, just to make it a little bit more muted. Because really this city is mostly grays. I don't know if you can see that. Let's see, let me test this here. Do I like that? So I can see here.
Ah,
How's it going, Pat?
it's going.
It's kind of fun. It's kind of mesmerizing, isn't it? I mean,
It
it's
is.
not
There's a lot of
exactly.
lines in this stuff.
Yeah, but it's kind of like captivating. Like the great thing about it is you're completely, caught up in doing the lines. I think that's what I like about cityscapes. It's very, I get kind of bored fairly easily, and I think they're one of the things that can. So, Rollo, just to let you know what I'm doing here, I'm mixing a darker color to go in and add darks in certain places. And that dark color is kind of, let's see.
Having problems getting orange.
What's that?
Having problems getting so I tried mixing the red with the green, and it's come out with a sort of mauve color.
Too mauvey. What color red? Can you read the? Can you read it?
I did the scarlet one.
Oh, scarlet that's why, because you're using a cooler one. Do you have a?
Use the other one, and then that came out too brown.
Okay, all right.
Try like mustard to it or something.
What's the green that you're using?
The green is deep green, is all it says.
It's kind of yellowy, I'm imagining.
No, it's deep green. It's almost like Viridian.
It's almost like Viridian. Interesting. I wonder why we're having problems.
Well, one's coming out brown and one's coming out mauve.
Interesting.
Doesn't have any sort of yellow warmth to it.
Try mixing yellow and red.
Yeah.
That might get you a yellowier.
What about if I did burnt sienna with a bit of yellow?
That's a great idea. Try that. Do you like that?
Give it a go. I think that might work. Need my. Oh.
Eraser. Oh.
In any event, guys, I would totally encourage you to riff off the colors. You don't have to do what's actually happening. You can kind of mix colors that please you. The biggest thing is to pay attention to values, right? So try and get your values right. Your lights, your mediums, and your darks. My God, we have almost gone 2 hours. That's insane. Of course, I spent the first 20 minutes looking at our drawing and going, now wait a minute, that doesn't follow. Which fortunately did not get captured on video. Oh my God.
Are you able to edit your video?
I could totally tell my video editor, would you please take out that section? But I don't even bother.
Okay.
I don't even, yeah. I
You
don't do
got
it
people.
myself. I got people. I have people to do that. I have a fantastic video editor. If anybody needs a video editor for anything, she's great. She's a film student, so she's inexpensive, let's put it that way, and she's just super competent.
I think this one is salvageable.
Your ranger?
Reindeer.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
I thought you really nailed that peach color, and it's very hard to get it warm.
The secret is not to think about it and just do it.
Right.
I never think about the colors I put together. I just go by instinct.
Yeah, I'm like that. I'm like that too, and that's why for a long time I wasn't a great painting teacher. I was like, because I couldn't explain at all why I was picking what I was picking. I've gotten better at it because I had to. Only for
No,
teaching.
you're great. You're great. You explain what you're doing.
I'm trying to do. Yeah, but it's hard.
I don't quite know what I'm doing. I just do it.
I know what you're doing. That helps.
Yes.
Well, yeah, but it's funny because at the beginning I would be like, why isn't everybody just doing the colors? Aren't you doing the colors that you see? Like it was like people be like, well, how do I mix this? And I'm like, I'd look at them irritated, like, why are you asking me that question? Isn't it obvious? And then later I realized, oh my God, no, it is not obvious. Learn your stuff, lady.
Yeah, that's why you're the teacher.
Oh, Pat, that's going well.
Is it? Okay. Whew.
Yeah, it's looking wonderful.
That's why you're the teacher.
Right? I make myself do that. Hey, Rollo, how is it going with your colors? Are you happy?
Yeah, I'm getting there now. It's all.
Mm-hmm. So
Right.
just note, I've got the black and white here, so you can see the darks and the lights. You can look at the color version on the WhatsApp thread, but look here at the darks and lights just to make sure you kind of maintain those. You can see I started to add them in here, right? A little bit darker, a little bit lighter, a little bit country, a little bit rock and roll.
What are you using? Watercolor pencils?
No, I'm just using a brush.
Oh.
Hi, Leah.
Hi, Paul. How you doing?
Good. I just thought I would stop by for a second and say hello.
We're so happy. That's right. You've got a new thing going on now.
Well,
don't
just
you?
until June 12th, they're forcing me into paying them more money and attending on Wednesdays until the quote unquote testing date, which is June 12th, and then I can return.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Well,
thought
this
I'd
was kind of
stop.
a loosey-goosey class anyway, right, guys? So,
Right. Wasn't like last week's. That about did me in.
I mean, it was,
That's
yeah,
a
that's true.
rowdy
I mean,
bunch.
yeah, they are a pretty rowdy bunch.
Anyway, I just thought I'd say hello. Look,
It's good to
I'm gonna
say,
try
it's
this
good to,
tomorrow morning. I'm gonna jump in with Diana, hopefully, if I'm.
All
excellent,
right.
excellent.
And then,
And
yeah, and maybe
hopefully,
I'll join tomorrow or Friday morning.
that'd be great. We'd love to see you. We're
All
gonna
right.
do another cityscape tomorrow. And we're, bye, Paul. And we're
Bye-bye.
gonna do another, and then on Friday, we're gonna do an animal. I think a baboon or a monkey of some kind. Just haven't decided which one yet.
Monkey.
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 Sandra Mahler has a lot of sway in that class.
She likes her
She
animals.
does, except for her fish. Poor fish.
Yeah.
But
I
I'm not
would think.
surprised. I mean, she's been through a lot.
Yeah.
It's been an insane year for her, harder than
Yep.
a lot of other people. So
Yeah. But she's coming through it.
she
Once
really
she's
is.
over the radiation, she's going through the radiation right now.
So what's that like, Diana? Is that going to be?
It's just a little bit tiring, and it's like getting burnt, because it's like burn treatment.
Ugh.
So you have to be very careful of, putting on, and you can't use anything with perfume. So you just have to do a lot of aloe and stuff like that
Right.
every day, because otherwise your skin just dries up, and it's like you get a really serious sunburn every day.
Boy.
But
it works, eh?
it works, so you get through it. She'll get through it.
She's a toughie. That's for
Yeah,
sure.
she's a trooper.
She really is a trooper.
Rebecca,
What's that?
are you talking about
No,
Rebecca?
actually, we're talking about another Reuters student who was diagnosed with breast cancer in November.
I tell you
And
what, way too many of them.
what's that?
There's way too many of them.
I know.
Yeah.
And it was very virulent. She's quite young. She's like in her 50s. So she went through chemo while with us and just came to class every week. And sometimes she'd come to class, she couldn't even like sit up. She was so tired.
Oh my God.
But she
Oh.
still came to class. Yeah, she's recovered. And then she got really great news. She heard that like they got all of it, right? Like the cancer was completely gone.
It was in remission, yeah.
In remission, yeah. So now she's getting chemo and surgery, but it's like she's in a much like happier place. Yeah, it was really, and I feel like we kind of like just helped her because thinking about her and just checking on lots of people in the class would check on her. Olga, that little sweetheart, always like in Ukraine, was always thinking about Sandra and making little presents for her. And it's just really sweet. It was incredibly, we just worried about her.
Yeah, Olga is lovely.
Isn't she she's just the best.
And it's on Thursdays, it's basically the base is always Sandra, me, and Olga. So
Yeah, it's a good group.
and you get to know one another when you spend time like that. So
It's true.
yeah.
It's true. One in DC, one in LA, and one in the Ukraine. It's amazing.
Yeah. No, she's in Poland now.
Oh, she's in Poland. That's right. She's in Poland right now. Poland, the Ukraine, still very far. Yeah, no, they're great. Yeah, she's a real special person, isn't she?
Yeah, she is.
Rather universal thinker. Yeah, anyway, Pat, so we're just talking about all the people that we've met in the classes, and it's just nice. It's a great way It's a
Yeah.
wonderful way to get to know people all over the place.
Yeah, and it's a new community.
I kind of feel like Diana is my sister. I don't have a sister, but like if I how I feel like I feel like we're together almost every day.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, it's weird. I mean, right, Diana? Like we spend a couple hours a day, several days a week. Like,
Yeah,
What?
no, I try. I'm so fortunate that I can decide how I work as long as I get my
the
work
work
done.
done.
So I can take a 2-hour break and then I continue, or
Yeah.
so that's really nice.
Yeah, it is. It is nice. She's had to interrupt her classes a lot with work, Pat. It's really lame.
Darn it. I wish they'd just leave you alone.
Right. But yeah, no, it's weird because like but we are together, Diana, like several days a week for
Yeah,
several
we
hours,
are.
sometimes for 2 hours, sometimes for 2, sometimes for 4 hours. It's kind of neat. It's a very to me, very special because I would normally not get to, normally we wouldn't get to know each other because,
No,
yeah, you're like, we're all so far away. So I really appreciate that.
thank you.
Yeah.
I do. I do too. I mean, this has been really a saver during the
During the
pandemic too, to have like a new community and to have a community when you can't meet anyone.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah.
It's pretty
I
amazing.
just sent you how far I come with my little
Let's see.
thing.
Let me see. Oh, nice. Oh yes, good. Legs look good in the front. I like the little splashes of blue.
I haven't worked on the back leg yet.
I have one question, Diana. I can't see the regular. Is his ear on our left the right size, or does it need to be a little bigger?
No, it probably needs to be a little bit bigger.
Yes.
You mean the one on our right.
left? On our left.
Our left.
Yeah.
Yeah, it needs to be a little bit rounder. It
Yeah.
needs to be a little bit rounder.
Also, but the colors are just they're perfect. Just keep on going. This is great. This is a very lively. It's a very lively painting. Let me see if I can find. Hold on. I'm gonna see if I can find the pictures.
I have it here.
Well, no. I have another picture I wanted to show you that I was telling you about. Here, hold on. Let's see here. Oh yeah. Look at this. Oh no, dang it. I did not send it. Here, hold on, I can find it. I think this is about as far as I'm gonna go here with this. I'm probably gonna leave things just like here. So I kind of pushed the darks. I added a little yellow onto the wall here, little bits of blue. Notice it's interesting with this particular composition how little color you really need to have it. This is almost all grays. And then as long as you've got some white and 1 or 2 splashes of color, like these blues here, everything else can be kind of muted and it's very beautiful. Here, I can find it. I'm gonna find it. Let's see. I popped it in my. Oh yeah. Can I mail it? Yep, hold on. How's it going, Rollo?
Yeah, it's okay.
Coming along?
Yeah, I'll send what I've done so far. I'm not very good with the brushes. I'm getting there.
That's all right. It's just a practice thing.
It truly is just a practice thing.
Yeah, send me where you're at. And with watercolor in particular, it's easy to overdo it. So what you kind of learn first, I think the hard way, is restraint, right? Okay, check this one out, Diana. Let's see. Oh, I don't know. I think it's coming along nicely, Rollo. It's
Yeah,
beautiful.
It's just that my handiwork isn't very precise.
Right, I know. Do you have a littler brush with a more pointy?
I do, even that I'm not very
So
good at.
I would pick that one up now to add in some more dark edges. So like if you'll notice here along the edge between the white line and the street, there's a kind of darker edge. Over here, there's a little dark line.
Yeah.
In one or two of the buildings, give yourself a couple more dark lines, and then but use that thin brush for that. But this is looking great. I love it. I think it's awesome. Your grandma would be really proud.
Oh, well, my mum and my aunt are very excited.
Really? That you're painting?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Because they're just like, this is what your grandmother used to do.
Do you feel a sense of connection with her when you do it?
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean, what was interesting is that when I was growing up, my mum used to work, and I used to get sent around to my grandmother's, and she used to just try and get us to do different things, like papier-mâché and things like that.
Right.
So I learned a few little arts and crafts along the way, but I never got into painting.
But definitely you're a natural. It definitely is something you should be doing. I'm going to stay on a little bit longer, guys, because I think you're all in the zone, and I want to keep you there a little bit longer, even though technically lessons are coming to a close. But let's stay on a little bit longer. Let's see.
I've got all my everything wrong because it's like
No, you
I've got much more building to put in, and I've run out of room above the above the road.
Let's see. Oops.
happened.
Oh, sorry, I clicked the wrong button. Here we go. Oh, Pat, no, this is looking great. It's looking great. You're doing well. Actually, you know what? You guys are handling this beautifully.
Can I just forget about that last build?
Yes, you can.
Okay.
Yes, you can. This drawing is done. So if you want to, so we're kind of coming towards the end of class. Do you want to take this into the next class you come to, and I'll walk you through it?
Okay, good.
Yeah, hold it till the next class, and I'll talk to you about painting it. We're going to do figure drawing next. Are you planning on coming Wednesdays? Is that going to be your, or are you just going to change it up?
It's probably going to just get changed up.
All right. So just let me know
Okay.
when you know, and save this for the next one. And actually, if you maybe join a few minutes early, I might even be able to get you going before everybody else comes.
Okay, I'll try to finish the sketch itself before then.
love your accent, Pat.
I love your accent, Rollo.
Where's it from?
Oh, I'm afraid I moved all over the country. So
But-
it's a little here, a little there. Is it
She's
still
got a
lot
little
Oklahoma?
southern, she's got a
It's
little
still a little
southern,
Oklahoma. Yeah,
a
little
little
southern.
Oklahoma.
I was there for 20 years, so. I don't realize I still have it, but I guess I do. Luckily, that's the only thing I brought from Oklahoma.
You didn't like it there?
It's a very difficult place to live if you're if you like everybody. I'll put it that way.
I get you. Yeah, I think I'll take a break and I'll finish this one tomorrow.
Okay, this is great. You guys did great. I'm very pleased with this work. This is a lot of, this was fun, even though it was kind of absurd drawing wise, trying to figure out how things work. It made no sense. I'm still going to talk to Jessica and see if she can help me figure. She's probably just going to tell me it's the damn camera. It's like the camera lens.
Or maybe they edited
Yeah.
it. Edited it and
No,
changed.
the camera itself, particularly cell phone cameras, really elongates things.
Oh,
I don't know if you've noticed that. Here, let me pull
I
the.
really hadn't. No.
Yeah, it's interesting.